Welcome to the Die Again podcast, an actual play podcast where each episode is a new chance of survival. Our host is Josiah, and I'm the player William. Join us as we play through this scenario where anything could happen.
You, Victor Smith, you're investigating a monster sighting that you've heard about in a small Appalachia town called Swindonsill. Normally, this sort of thing wouldn't really grab your attention, but since if it bleeds, it leads, you've heard that someone there was injured recently. It may or may not be related, but you can make it sound related for sure. You've booked a room at a local motel. You talked to a George Nichols on the phone, and you're just rolling into town about 4 in the afternoon. It's sort of a forested mountain town. It's pretty small, but it does seem like the town is pretty crowded for its size. How much research would you have done before coming to town?
So, early 2000s, you said, right? So,
Yeah, so let's say it's like 2005.
well, let's assume that I did do some research. I would assume there would have to be, was Reddit even a thing back then? I guess 4chan would have been the thing.
Maybe. I assume you would, being a reporter yourself, you would have looked up newspapers. That would have been my guess.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. So, yeah, what?
All right, so make a reasoning roll to see what you know about what's going on.
And how many D6s was it again?
2.
Just 2.
And
Okay.
I think you could spend like a ton of experience to improve your roll, but it's a lot because you only have 1 reasoning.
Right. Okay. So I'm rolling for reasoning, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. That wasn't great. So that's a 5 plus my 1, so 6.
6. Yeah, you were going to research and you made a note to yourself to research and then you didn't.
I made a note to do the research, but then I got distracted on MySpace,
Very true.
looking at the new iPod shuffle, whatever.
You saw the iPod Nano and you're like, wow, you can watch movies on this? All right, so you roll into town. You're not sure why there's as many people here as there are. You would have expected it to be a lot less busy than it is. Are you going to start by going to the motel or are you going to go somewhere else first?
I will start going to the motel first. Out of curiosity, why is it shocking that it's as busy as it is?
Just because it's a small town. I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but it's like a town that's made for like 200 people that now has like 400 people in it.
Oh, okay. So,
So it's just like way more people than the city seems to be made for.
right. Like they really need to expand and it just hasn't happened yet.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you've been to Hobbs, but when Hobbs had that big oil boom.
I haven't, but I pick up what you're putting down though.
Yeah. All right. So you head to the motel. There are a surprising number of cars at the motel, but it does appear that there's a space for you, and you can head into the front desk, and you see sort of a balding older man with a gut at the counter.
Okay. I approach him and say, "Hi, got a room under the name of Mr. Smith."
He looks up and he says, "Oh, Mr. Smith, coming in all the way from California."
Yeah, the big hustling city.
He's sort of moves slowly but jovially, if that makes any sense. And he's getting one of those keys that has the block of wood on it, that has the number of your room carved into it. You're in room 7. He says, "Here's your room key. There's no breakfast included, I'm afraid."
Where do I head to room 7? Is that to
Uh,
the left
is-
or to the right?
He can point out the window. It's not a big motel, so it's pretty easy to walk along and see room 7.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and head to room 7 then.
You open it up. It's pretty clean. It's not the Motel 6 experience. It's more small town motel where everything's clean, but it's also like old. So there's a black and white TV in there that
Okay.
probably doesn't work.
Right. So first thing I do is I look for an outlet to plug in my laptop. And for the camera, is this a modern for the time digital camera, or is it a more vintage kind of thing?
I imagine you have a digital and an analog.
Okay.
Because you would probably, at this point, you're probably going to be using digital for like quick stuff. And then if you want really good detail, you're going to have to go analog still.
It's like I got one of those I imagine my guy might have one of those, those really slim cameras, digital cameras they made for a little
Yeah,
while?
yeah, yeah.
Like that.
The ones that they, like, marketed as spy cameras.
Yes, exactly. He got one of those for the just in case, oh crap moments.
Exactly, yeah. I figure you've got that and you keep it in, like, a jacket pocket.
Because unfortunately, our flip phones at that time were not good for taking camera photos.
What, you didn't want 4 pixels?
Even back then we knew it was bad.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay.
alright, so you're gonna set your bags in there. Do you keep your fancy camera with you, or do you leave it and you're just gonna like, if you have something that really requires that, you're just gonna go back for it and, like, schedule a shoot? Because I'll say that's reasonably bulky, like, you're gonna have, like, a shoulder bag that contains it.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave the analog camera behind. Definitely keep my
Alright.
digital one with me in case I need it. From the research,
Do you pack a spare battery? Or I guess it'd be
it
like double
depends. I
A's.
guess it both were options back then. Let's say I do have a spare battery, fully juiced up, ready to go.
Okay.
With the research I would have my character had done prior to coming here, does he have a plan? Like who is he needing to talk to? In case you might have already said and I just forgot.
I have not said. So you know that the person you need to talk to is called Robert Capwell, but you don't know the details because it was a very trying to think what the term is, but it was like a footnote basically when you were looking at information in the area. Like that's it grabbed your attention because you had already read that someone was reporting seeing what they called a nature spirit in the area.
And you had said it's like 2005 era, right?
Yes.
Does Robert Catwell have a Facebook or a MySpace? Probably MySpace.
Let's see. You can check online. I don't think you need to make any roll for that. I'll just roll to
Yeah.
see if he does. All right, so he does. You look him up. He's got a MySpace. It's pretty basic. He's 38, so it's kind of like a business
Okay. So it's
MySpace.
not like back in the day when we used to have a whole bunch of different scripts running in the background, making these vomit.
Yeah, this is a man trying to use MySpace like
Oh, okay.
LinkedIn, basically.
Because he's networking.
Basically, yeah. And you can see he works for the Shapla Mining Corporation. Shapla. He's pretty low ranking, but he's always sort of posting in such a way that like he's trying to make himself sound more important than he is.
So, okay. So what was the name of the company again?
Shapla. It's not a name you recognize. It's not like hearing Exxon Mobil is there.
Right, right. Is there anything on this page that even talks about anything supernatural? It doesn't sound like it.
No. The most recent thing is you see like a picture someone else took of him with his arm in a cast, and then he put a little caption like, "I need to stop drinking." Ha ha.
Tag wasted.
Mm, exactly. And this was that 4 pixel camera quality.
Does he have a friend tagged on it?
No.
Hmm. Okay. So then I think because of the time period, it would be sensible of me to grab the yellow pages and look him up.
Okay. Say it's pretty unlikely that you're gonna find him in there.
Or is it the white pages? Wait, which one was it that had a whole bunch of that information?
Yellow Pages had phone numbers and probably other stuff. We're both not old enough to know by instinct. All right, but anyways, you grab the appropriate pages in an attempt to find him, but you do not. You you know from his MySpace that he does live in the area, but you don't know where specifically.
Okay.
But based on his thing about drinking, you could always try checking the bar or places like that. And also, he's a Catholic, so you could also try the church.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and I want to look up where the Catholic church is, and I want to look up
Okay.
bars.
You have driven
Okay,
past it, and you also drove past the bar.
just one bar. which makes sense since, like you said, 200 people,
Yeah,
but
very small town.
and, what time of the day did you say it was?
You got there at about 4 in the afternoon. I'm gonna say it's probably around 6 now because you've been looking stuff up and putting the things away.
Okay. And, do I know have I seen this mining corporation? Like, do I kinda know where it's at?
You have not seen anything to that effect. You've noticed a decent number of like white
Okay.
trucks around, so you would guess that those are like company trucks, but you haven't seen a mine.
Okay. I think if possible, then I'd like to spend at least a couple hours before what would be the appropriate time to go to bars. I'd like to spend that time kind of looking for this company.
So you're looking for like an office.
Yeah.
All right. So are you just driving around the town to look for it?
If I can find it in the yellow pages, then that works. But otherwise, yes.
Well, the yellow pages will probably tell you like where the how to call like the main office.
But when you were describing his MySpace, you had mentioned that like he's trying to make himself seem more important than he is. Does that mean that he works
Right.
in more of the corporate setting, or is he
No. He's very much a
okay?
ditch
So
digger. He sounds sort of sycophantic, like he's trying to get higher up, and I suppose he somehow imagines that his higher ups are reading his MySpace.
right, and if he shows company loyalty there, it will give him an advantage.
Exactly.
Well, maybe if I call the corporate office and maybe ask for I don't know, maybe like an interview or something to get a job working in the mines. Maybe that can give me the information I'm looking for then.
Okay, so you're gonna try and call the corporate office for an interview to work at the mines in Swindon. So,
Correct.
all right, I don't think we need to go through the whole conversation. Why don't you just make an influence streetwise roll?
Okay, so I will
Because all you really want
where to
is to know
go.
where
Correct.
the
Yeah.
mine is, right? You don't
No.
really care about the job.
No. I care about style, apparently. So no.
You're gonna be that meme from Zoolander where he's mining, he swings the pick really
Yeah,
stupidly.
yeah, exactly. So in total, I rolled a 12. I rolled a 2, and I got
12?
5 and
All right.
3.
Yeah, that's plenty. So you get the location of the mine, which is basically the overseer is going to be set up by the mine right now. Like not right now because they would be closing right now because it'll be
Right.
getting dark, but you know it is east of town.
Okay.
So you'll have to take like a dirt road back there. A little dicey for your van.
Right. So since it's so close to closing up fully, I think I want to hang around and just see where all these vehicles go, where all these workers go. Because I assume some of them are going to go to the bar.
Yeah, so you're just gonna kind of hang by the window of the motel
If I
and
can from
watch.
there, yeah.
Okay. Make me an awareness tracking, I guess.
All right. That's 4, 5, 9, and my awareness is that's an 11.
All right, yeah. So most of the trucks go a bit north of the motel, but a decent number of them go to the bar.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and head out to the bar then. I do want to take
Yeah, it's
okay.
within walking
I was
distance.
gonna go ahead and wait a little bit. My thinking is for him to be slightly drunk, already relaxed.
Okay, so are you looking for the overseer or the?
I am looking for Robert Catwell.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna wait. How long do you want to wait?
Since it's walking distance, maybe just 10 minutes after all these trucks show up to that bar.
All right. As you decide to get out and walk over, you see what looks like local law enforcement, probably the sheriff, sort of standing between two people with his hands sort of separating them. And as you approach, you can hear him say, "Now, calm down, both of you." And he's got a bit of a gut, but he seems competent enough. The one person is clearly one of the miners, still covered in dirt, and the other looks kind of like a sort of like a stereotypical grunge person, a woman, but she has a sign that says "Close down the mine."
Is she like a younger person, like a teenager or like a college student?
Not a teenager, but yeah, around college age, like mid 20s probably.
Okay. I'm going to observe. What happens next?
All right, so you're just gonna watch.
Yeah.
Are you trying to stay hidden?
They're just in front of the bar, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to stay hidden. I mean, I could is there a line to get in? Is there a reason for me to kinda just
No.
no, okay. I'm not gonna stay hidden. I don't think there's any reason for me to. I could just be a civilian watching because I'm bored.
All right. Yeah. So you can see the encounter's about what you expect. The miner's pissed off because the woman's trying to get people to shut down the mine, and she's also equally uncouth, but less physically confrontational. And basically, eventually, if you are waiting long enough, it ends with the sheriff sort of pushing the guy back into the bar and telling the woman to go home to stop causing trouble.
Okay, so then, does she begin to walk
Yeah,
away?
slowly and just sort of generally still yelling about shutting down the mine as she's walking. Like she's still, periodically raising the sign.
Okay, so then, as she begins to walk away, I say, "I don't think I've ever seen that before, a sheriff pushing the guy into the bar."
Basically, you're coming from the east, she's headed west, and the bar is to the south.
Then, yeah, I guess I cross the bar, therefore passing the
So you're
sheriff
saying
and strike the conversation up with the girl.
that you've never seen a sheriff push someone into the bar before. So she goes, "Yeah, well, that's how it is in a small town like this. Someone flashes a little bit of money and suddenly they don't get to go to jail anymore." And she sounds very like she's trying to sound worldly, even though she's still like in her 20s.
As if she's traveled the world, but's never left her hometown.
Like she read the Communist Manifesto too many times.
Okay, so then, I'm gonna continue this conversation with her along the lines of, looking into a story about this, mining corporation. Do you mind telling me some about it? What are you protesting?
So she launches into her spiel where she's like, "Can't just take stuff from the earth, man. And that, this is going for a while. I want you to make an awareness roll. You don't have any composure, so it's just awareness to keep paying attention as she's rambling on."
Okay. See if I have the fortitude to withstand this.
Yeah, it is inane for like 90% of this. Yeah.
So just awareness, no? Okay, so that would be a 13.
So you manage to keep enough attention that you notice when she says, and like when I went out there to protest last time, I saw this nature spirit. And so I know this mind's.
So what was that about nature spirit?
Her eyes light up and she starts rambling again. She goes, "Oh, it's amazing and majestic. Last time I went out to go protest at the mine, the sheriff made me leave. On my way back, I saw this huge thing. It was definitely a nature spirit, and it's gonna get rid of all those miners."
Okay. What did it look like?
Is like really big, and you can tell she certainly abuses some substance of some sort. If you want to try and get more information out here, you're going to need to make a influence negotiation roll.
Okay. I will try that. So that's going to be a +6 to the roll. Dang it. That is a 9.
9. You can spend a point of experience to add a dice.
You know what? I'll go ahead and do that. So take down my experience by 1 and 3 and add 1 more dice. Dang it. Okay, that was another one. So 10.
All right, well, you only needed a 10, so
Oh, okay.
you managed to sort of shepherd her around for like the conversation for a while, and more or less what you managed to get is that it was vaguely bipedal, but it was sort of shifting and formless. She could sort of see through it at times,
Okay.
and it was headed towards the mine as she was headed away from it.
Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I really appreciate this information. Here's my MySpace. If anything else comes up, I'd like to know.
Do you also give her a phone number? The possibly more useful thing in a small town like this, which has very, very spotty internet.
Okay, fine. A phone number.
Okay. Do you tell her that you're a reporter? Or you already told her? Yeah. Yeah, because
Yes, I did. I didn't tell her that I'm a supernatural reporter, but yes.
yeah, you made it sound like you were investigating the mine, which certainly plays better.
Yeah. This isn't like this is prior to the History Channel being like aliens.
It's
Aliens.
real
So
close to that, though. All right. So, are you going to keep talking to her or are you going to head to the bar?
I think I'm gonna head to the bar. I mean, if I gave her my information and she seems like a maybe she's on ayahuasca or something, but she's passionate about what she saw. So I trust that if she sees it again, that she might reach out
All right.
about it.
So, you head to the bar, pretty rowdy, but not like fists aren't getting thrown right now. Just, people playing cards and pointing at the TV. There's
So when you say rowdy, you mean
like a
normal bar.
to some extent, yeah, but I mean, this is all blue collar guys who just got off their shift.
Is there a game or something
Yeah.
playing on the TV?
Does your guy watch sports?
Okay.
Does Victor Smith keep up with the game? It's basketball.
Me definitely does not, but Victor Smith cares about style, and style is also influenced by sports, so he cares about it.
So I'll just say that you're at least cognizant of the teams, whether or not you care about the specific ones playing. There is a man in a cast that may be the man you're looking for. Given how pixelated the picture was, it's hard to tell, but you imagine there's not that many guys in casts at bars.
I don't have another photo that's better than that.
No. You would have to guess that that was that guy's best photo, which is sad, but
Right.
not unusual for the time. You are drawing a bit of attention just because you're a pretty clean guy. You're obviously not into any physical labor of any sort.
And that's so out of place here.
Yeah, like even the people that you think might not be miners are still all mountain tough,
Right.
and you're not a local either.
Right. And even though the population's too big for the town, it's still a small population.
Exactly, yeah. The sheriff is in the bar now. He's not drinking. Well, he's not drinking alcohol. He's got like some juice. It's obvious he's here in case something else happens and to kind of keep everybody in line.
Right. How much money does Victor Smith
I'd
have?
say you have a decent amount, like, and you can expense a decent amount of this as well. You are the Forster's top reporter.
Okay. I'm thinking since my guy's got such a huge influence stat about because like you said, this guy's coming in and he looks really out of place. So he just buys a round of drinks for everybody.
All right, so you're gonna buy a round of Bud back when
Yeah.
that was still the big one.
Back when Bud
Their
Light
core
didn't really
demographic.
majority of their
The only people that
exactly.
really liked it. uh,
Right.
yes. Okay. So
But yes.
you're gonna buy around, make an influence. I'm gonna say it's street talk. And the bartender is an older woman, like not older like grandma old, but like middle aged,
So
40s, 30s,
40s.
somewhere in there. Yeah.
Hey now. Don't say middle age and 30s. That's
Well,
not
where your
nice. I
middle
don't
is depends on
appreciate
where
that.
your end is.
Uh, true, very true. Okay, so influence plus
Yeah.
free talk. Okay, plus six.
It, it,
Ooh, that's a good one.
nice. Yeah,
12.
that'll work. Yeah. It kills me that street talk is for like buying stuff and procuring things, and street wise is for lying and lockpicking. I don't know why that's a thing, but anyway, so it goes over pretty well with everybody. So people still kind of pay attention to you, but more in a hey kind of way.
What's
Exactly.
kind of way?
So people are clapping you on the back, and hey, how about those Lakers?
Yeah. If I knew a sports analogy for this, I would say it, but I do not. But
Exactly.
Victor says
Yeah,
something.
and they say
I'm
something.
sure.
This is that moment from the IT crowd where they're like, "Can you believe that ludicrous display last night?" And they've got the app telling them what to say. We need that app. All right, so yeah, you ingratiate yourself with the crowd more or less.
Okay. So now that I'm not worried about people trying to throw me out of their bar, I'm gonna make my way towards this guy that I think is
All
Robert
right,
Catwell.
You walk over to him. He's got a drink. He's kind of talking to a couple of people. It looks like people aren't avoiding him, but there's not like a ton of people talking to him either.
So does it look like then he's trying to force himself into conversations?
No, it looks like the guy he's talking to is like a buddy. He's here for the game.
Okay. Okay. So I walk up and I say, "How about those Lakers?"
All right, I want you to make just influence. Let's just call it straight influence for this,
All right.
just to see if that
Nice.
hits. A
I
12.
rolled a
All right.
12. I rolled a 6, a 1, and I got
So
5.
you say, and he goes, "Oh, the fucking Lakers, huh?" And you can tell that he is also an out of towner. Not all of the miners are, but he most certainly is. And you guys quickly start talking about the Lakers. You have him more or less in a good mood, so you can sort of steer the conversation a bit now.
Okay. Before or so as I'm starting to steer this conversation, I say something along the lines of, "You and I gotta play some ball when your arm heals up."
And he goes, that's a young man's game. I'm all about business. I don't know if you know this, but I set up a business MySpace. I think it's really gonna take off. It's got me linked in with everybody.
That's uh,
Little did
dang.
you know
Okay.
he has influence.
Um,
No.
right. Right. But still, I mean, a guy gots to wonder how'd you end up damaging your arm. I can't imagine it's from running your MySpace business.
And he goes, I was headed home from the bar. And I said, I'd take a little detour through the woods, get some fresh air. And, I must have tripped or something. I don't know. And he's being a bit evasive. If you
Let's
want to
see.
push it more, I guess I'll need to know how you want to push it to tell you what you're going to roll, but it will require a roll.
Right. Okay. So he's basically just said that he was walking through the woods and
Yeah,
tripped.
and the woods are not like the woods are pretty tight around the towns. Like the motel runs up against the woods,
Okay. So
so it's not like a crazy
it
thing to
it's
say.
right, like straight up, oh, I was walking across whatever and I had to go through a portion of the woods is normal.
Yeah, and it sounds like he just decided to like take a detour through the woods, basically.
Okay, so then I guess the next thing I'd like to ask then is well, how much more time do you got in that cast?
Doctor Schneider, he says couple weeks. It's not too bad, just a fracture.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for I'm assuming you work for the mining corporation here?
Says, "Oh, do I? Let me tell you, Shapley, they couldn't get this mine off the ground if it wasn't for me. I'm important. I'm real important." And you can see his buddy that's sitting across from him. So he's the one you're talking to. Capwell is between you and his buddy. And
Okay.
his buddy kind of rolls his eyes, and Capwell starts going like, I keep everybody on task when I'm on the shift. I'm all business."
You're the
He
kingpin.
goes, "You get it. You get me."
Yeah.
Some people say, "Oh, you're just using a shovel. You're just moving the dirt before the big machines get in there." And I say, "Well, if I don't, then the big machines don't get in, do they?" And nobody ever has anything to say after that. And his friend rolls his eyes again, indicating that people probably do have something to say after that.
uh okay. So trying to think about what I should be asking this guy now.
And perhaps more importantly, how to ask it.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna try to rope in his buddy into this conversation. Like, I know he's there, but he hasn't said anything
He talked
yet.
with when it was about the Lakers.
Okay.
You get that one?
What was his name?
You get
Huh?
that one? That can open?
No, no, I'm missing. I'm not
Man, that
hearing it.
dynamic mic's real. Or maybe it's the Discord noise suppression.
It's gonna be hilarious when I have your side of the Hindenburg files.
All right, so you're asking what this guy's name is? You wanted to know the guy's name, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. His name is Owen Webb. And just from the casual conversation you've been having, he also works with uh, Capwell.
Okay.
And it seems like they go back before they were working at the mine.
Already. So then I want to ask them before I came into this bar, I saw this protesting chick. What do you guys know about that?
And so Webb starts to make the like throat, like, don't bring it up thing, but it's too late. And Capwell starts, it's, you can't do an honest day's work without somebody protesting about it, huh? She's crazy. It's high. She's talking about nature spirits. There aren't no nature spirits. Make a awareness and awareness streetwise check.
Okay, so that's going to be a +7. Ooh, okay, 14.
Okay, so you can tell when he says there aren't any nature spirits, something in his tone suggests that to some extent he's saying that for his own, like, to reassure himself.
Okay, and Owen, does he react at all to that?
Not really. Owen doesn't really pick up on it, doesn't seem like. He's kind of, he's like, yeah, she's a real pain. And he doesn't seem to really care that much about what she's doing, but just kind of going along with what his friend's saying.
Okay, so then I'm going to say, yeah, that definitely sounds like a crazy out there story. It'd be way more believable if it turns out there's a lot more of you guys tripping and hurting your arms in the forest.
So you're trying to suggest to him that the nature spirit caused his
Yeah,
thing. Okay.
if there's more people. If not, one person, who cares? But if it's
Well,
many people getting hurt.
right. But I'm just saying, like, the thing you're saying to him, like, right now is sort of pushing towards that. Like, you're kind of pressing at that little weakness you found in what he said.
Yeah.
I guess this would be negotiation influence.
Okay. So that's 1 and 6. So +6. Oh, dang. I rolled a 16, 2 5s and my 6.
All right. So you managed to say it without.
Offending him.
Yeah. And he goes, "Yeah, maybe you Californians believe that kind of stuff, but I'm a God-fearing Catholic. I know ain't nothing to any of that.
All I'm saying is God works in mysterious ways, as we all know.
Amen to that." And he clinks his glass against yours and takes
Okay.
another swig. I'm nodding. He's going along with this. You're pressing all the right buttons. What are you trying to get him to do?
I want to get him to basically sneak me into the mining corporation to take some photos of him doing his stuff.
Okay, so that's
Show the corporation how essential and necessary he is for moving all
all
that
right,
dirt.
that's gonna be streetwise influence.
Okay. I'm rizzing him up, as they say.
I'm gonna dock you experience for saying the word "riz" in my presence, in my virtual presence.
Charisming him.
This is genre
Okay,
diversion.
what
You are
was the roll going to be?
influencing him. There is no charisma in genre diversion.
Well, I'm ahead of my time.
Tragic.
Uh, influence
Uh,
in what?
streetwise.
Was? Okay, it's an 8. Good thing that was an 8. That's a 7, so
15.
correct.
All right. Yeah. So he says, you know what? All right. I tell you what. You come around noon tomorrow, and you tell the boys at the gate that I asked you to come on.
And you sure? I'm not doubting your importance. That's not what I'm just saying. But you're sure that that's gonna be all I need to get in?
He says, I'm sure. I'm sure. You don't think I can make the boys at the gate let whoever I want in? And Webb sort of pats his
I'm just
shoulder,
asking.
like, and presumably you kind of joke around with him a bit more.
Okay, so then as I start heading out of the bar, I'm gonna say one more time to Robert, I'm gonna make your Facebook pop. I promise you that.
He goes, Facebook. That's a good name for
Or not Facebook.
it. No, yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
and he sort of raises his
my
glass.
guy apparently.
Yeah, it's all the paranormal investigation you've done. You're seeing the future that isn't there yet.
Man, I keep on having these dreams about these goggles that Apple makes. Weird stuff.
Yeah, the IC.
Um, I see. That's hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna head out unless somebody stops me.
No, I don't think anybody has a reason to stop you. The sheriff isn't gonna care because you're not starting any trouble or anything. Everyone's pretty friendly. If you want to hang around and just be sociable, you could probably do that for another 30 minutes or so.
Okay. Yeah. Um.
And if you do, I'll just count that. You'll get like a bonus to dealing with any of these minors later.
Okay. That sounds like a
Okay.
plan then.
So you get in, you play a hand of poker, that kind of thing. Shoot the shit.
Right.
And then you head back to the motel. It'll be getting pretty late, and you've been drinking now.
Yeah. Right.
Did you bring food, or are you gonna just be like going to the convenience store?
I'm thinking my guy would go to the convenience store.
Okay, so pretty much anything in town is you can walk. It's just not a big town. Outside of like the residential section. So if you want to walk over, it's like it's not a 7-Eleven, it's like a local thing, but it is open until like 10 p.m. So
The local 812.
yeah, local 10:10.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll go in there. Anything of note?
Nothing in particular, it's kind of that small town convenience store where it kind of sells everything. So like you can get motor oil and coffee and like a frozen burger, and they'll microwave it for you, but
Right.
it's a woman running the place, kind of younger than the barkeeper, but still older than the protester.
Okay. And I say, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Robert. Or no, I'm not Robert.
I,
Yeah, I'm Victor.
I like to
I'm
think you actually
Victor.
say that because you're just drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so focused on my mark
Yeah.
that I
You should go.
so that
Yeah.
happens.
Oh, well, Robert Victor. I'm Hattie. Hattie Hawthorne. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. And I go kind of like you got some Gatorade so that in the morning I can hydrate myself after everything I just drunk
She goes,
or drinked.
that's a bit rich for my blood. I got Powerade. How's that?
That'll have to do.
Yeah, that's the other thing you start to pick up is everything is whatever they don't have Coke, they have Pepsi, and it's like that. It's
Do they have Dunkin' Donuts then, like coffee or whatever?
the coffee is, I think it's Folgers. It's got to be Folgers.
Okay. I'm like, I need that Powerade, and if you got some protein bars, and I'm just imagining my guy sounding kind of not.
Yeah,
He might be pretending to be more drunk than he really is.
I think some of it is you're trying to pretend to be more drunk than really are, but also
But I am
you're more drunk than you think you are. Also,
right.
so it's that
Uh,
mix of drunkenness, and you're pointing to some things and asking about other things, and by the end of it, you've got kind of like a decent bag full of stuff. Most of it isn't what you really wanted, but it's what you're gonna make do with.
but that Slim Jim is going to be my midnight snack, so it is what it is.
Uh, that
Um,
thick James, yeah.
okay. So unless she's going to stop me, I guess I'm going to head back to my hotel.
All right. Yeah, she's not going to stop you. So you spend probably more money than you want to, but less money than you would in a lot of places, and head to the motel. I assume you like have one of the things of food or whatever, and then settle down for the night. Do you shower before bed, or are you going to shower when you get up, or both?
Let me think on this for a second. I think since his drive is style, then he cares about that. Like,
Oh yeah, you were supposed to
like
mark
not
a
only.
point of experience. I forgot. Mark a point of experience when you did that buying around for everybody.
Oh, okay. Do I just tick up my experience point,
Yeah.
or does that go somewhere else? Okay. Cool. I'm thinking since he actually does care about like how he's presented to the world, that he would take a shower before he goes
And
and
all right,
after.
yeah. Do you have pajamas, or are you a boxers guy, or whatever underwear?
He's a like just a pajama shorts kind of guy.
Okay, so like a basketball shorts.
Yeah, yeah, something along those
All
lines.
right, so you've got.
I can't wait to find out why this is relevant.
Well, you'll get to find out next time.
Oh man, I can't wait to find out why my sleepwear matters. Thank you for joining us on the Die Again podcast. We are a new podcast, so we are learning as we go. Please consider giving us a follow and tune in next time.